Before the pyramid rose, before the first wheel turned, there are traces carved in stone, etched in myth, of a civilization so old that even time seems to have forgotten its name. But its knowledge might still live inside us. Archaeologists once believed human civilization began around 6000 BCE. Then Göbekli Tepe in Turkey rewrote the story. Stone temples built 12,000 years ago by people who were not supposed to know architecture, astronomy, or agriculture. But what if Göbekli Tepe was not the beginning, but a remnant, a fragment of something that came before? Across the world, in places that could never have met, ancient people built the same pattern, stone circles aligned to the stars, sacred numbers repeating like cosmic code. Coincidence or memory? Every ancient cultures watched the heavens, but not just to tell time. They treated the sky as a map of the soul. The Sumerians said the gods came from the stars. The Egyptians built pyramids aligned perfectly with Orion's belt. The Mayans tracked Venus with precision modern astronomers still admire. They weren't just gazing upward, they were decoding reality. And modern physics now speaks their language. Vibration, frequency, energy, different words, same truth. From Egypt's pyramids to India's temples, one pattern repeats: the golden ratio, pi 1.618. It appears in your DNA, your heartbeat, the swirl of hurricanes in galaxies. Ancient builders used it instinctively, as if they knew the formula that binds matter to consciousness. Were they guessing or remembering a science we lost? Civilizations rise when knowledge is sacred and fall when power replaces wisdom. Ancient records and legends from every corner of the world, from the Quranic story of Nuh alayhi salam to the epic of Gilgamesh, speak of a great deluge that erased an age of arrogance. Maybe that flood was real. Maybe that wasn't just water that drowned the world, but forgetfulness. Humanity woke up with fragments of memory, myths, symbols, rituals. We rebuilt, but smaller, simpler, and we called the survivors gods. Each symbol hides an equation. Each myth hides a manual. Take the flower of life, carved into the walls of Abydos in Egypt. It's pure geometry, but also describes quantum interference patterns. Or the Vedic texts of India, describing particles in atoms, Anu, thousands of years before modern science. They saw creation as one breathing organism. We call it the universe, they call it consciousness. Quantum physics now says the observer affects the observed. Ancient mystics said reality responds to awareness. Neuroscience says thoughts change the brain. As you think, so you become. Different centuries, same truth and new language. What if the forgotten civilization wasn't a lost city, but a lost level of awareness? Ancient believed the body, earth, and cosmos are reflections of one another. Egypt called it the Ka and Ba, spirit and form. The Quran calls it ayat, signs in the horizons and within yourselves. Today we call it fractals, self-repeating patterns that scale infinitely. They built temples to mirror the brain, monuments to mirror the stars, because they knew, to understand the universe, study yourself. Legends of Atlantis speak of a crystal power source, a metaphor, maybe, for a technology based on resonance. Modern science calls it frequency. Tesla called it the key to understanding the universe. Ancient texts called it Om, Logos, or Kalam Allah, the word that becomes creation. Every sound, every thought, every emotion vibrates. They built with sound, we build with force. And that's why their monuments still stand when ours crumble. We are beginning to rediscover what they knew intuitively. Everything is energy, everything is connected. When you observe, you participate. AI, quantum computing, and neuroscience are leading us back, not forward, to the same realization. Consciousness is the foundation of reality, and maybe that's the secret of the universe the ancients tried to preserve. Imagine if every pyramid, every myth, every sacred text was one page of a manual left for us, a message saying, "Remember who you are." The forgotten civilization may never have vanished. It may be speaking through our intuition, our creativity, our search for meaning, because the real secret of the universe was not technology or power. It was awareness. Maybe the ancients weren't trying to predict the future. Maybe they were trying to remind the future, us, that the same light guiding their temple still burns inside our minds. The question is, will we remember before we forget again?